Hi, I'm Jerry Smith, Chairman of the Board of Trustees of Shoreline Community College, and I'd like to share my story with you. 38 years ago, right about now, I was entering the University of Washington as a freshman, and I feel compelled to tell you that I did graduate 4 years later in 1976. I was 18 at the time, and for 5 or 6 years before that, I was homeless, meaning I didn't live with a legal guardian. I did live with some different relatives, and basically I lived with the parents of my school friends who, for reasons of their own, took me in to keep me off the streets. I was fortunate to live in a lot of very functional households. I learned there are a lot of right ways to function, not just one. By the time I graduated from Lakes High School down in Lakewood, I had attended 22 different schools. So you might say I made a career out of being the new kid in school. I applied to the University of Washington just like any other kid that year, and I thought of it as being in the Big Apple of the Northwest, and I figured that if I could make it there, why, by golly, I could make it anywhere. I knew that if I qualified to get, I knew that I qualified to get in. I knew what grades and what SAT scores it took to be accepted, and I had them. I was so confident that I'd be accepted that I only applied to the University of Washington. On the day I graduated from high school, I had $80 to my name. I can remember because that $80 was a graduation gift to me from the wonderful family that I had lived with for almost all of my senior year. Tuition at the University of Washington was $188 per quarter, and I correctly figured that I could get a job and that, say, paid $1.35 an hour or so, and I could pay for my tuition and dorm fees out of what I earned. Well, that's exactly what I did, and it all worked out for me, as tuition never increased over those 4 years. I ended up getting myself a world-class quality education from a pretty doggone prestigious university. Back then, I believed in the transformative power of education to better my circumstances. Today, I don't have to believe in the transformative power of education. I just know it. It's just like calculus. It's a given. It just is. I figure I'm kind of a poster child for education and its transformative powers. After all, part of me is still that homeless kid, but I'm also the chairman of the board of trustees of a quality institution of higher learning, Shoreline, a college that is a leader in education, a college that is, I believe, about to assume an even greater leadership position in this state, this country, and possibly the world. Anyway, my story doesn't end there. I have 3 daughters, and I never pushed them into college, but the results are in. I did instill in them the value of learning. I taught them all to read and write and kind of scratch, and add and subtract by the age of 3. Learning was just part of our household. My oldest daughter is a gifted linguist and theologian. She was awarded her PhD this past June. My middle daughter earned a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, and she received her law degree in May 2009. She works downtown Seattle as a King County prosecuting attorney. My youngest daughter holds Bachelor of Science and Master of Science degrees in physics. She's a third-year graduate student working towards a PhD in physics. Her thesis has something to do with finding meaning in very large number groups. She's in Beijing, China, as I'm speaking right now, helping a major Chinese corporation extract meaning from their enormous data sets. I believe in the transformative power of learning and education, and I believe my daughter's success proves it. I believe in the vital importance of what each and every one of you is doing, faculty, administrative, and classified staff. Now, hang on to my thought here and follow it through. What each of you does is kind of important today, but the value of what you do today will prove to be of vital importance tomorrow and in the future. So in other words, those little things that you do today grow into something later that is of vital importance tomorrow for people like you and me and our entire society. Now, I'll bet I'm not telling any of you as faculty or classified or administrative staff something that you don't already know. That's probably why each of you are here at Shoreline doing what you do. But I'll also bet that you don't hear it as often as you deserve to. What your peers did for me 38 years ago became vitally important to me and my children. What your peers did 38 years ago didn't just change my world, they changed the world. What you do today will change the future of a single life. What you do today will change the future of the world. I don't just believe it, I absolutely know it. So what are my points? Access and affordability. Access and affordability to colleges and universities. I don't believe my story is possible today at the University of Washington. There have been thousands, probably more like tens of thousands of students that qualified to get into the University of Washington, just like I did, that were not accepted over the last couple of years. There just wasn't room for them. And if they had been accepted, I really don't think that it would have been possible for any of them to work their way through college and obtain a University of Washington degree without significant debt. It's just too expensive compared to what they might be able to earn. So it might be possible, but it's very improbable. The point is this: my story is history. It's over. And we need to change that, and we need to start today, and we need to start right here. The future of education will not look like it looks today. There are a lot more people today that look like I did 38 years ago that need the benefits of higher education. These people need an education today. It's vital that they get it. It's vital for them, and it's vital for the future of our state and our society. Access and affordability, that is my story. So what are we going to do? It starts with leadership. Fortunately, we have a great leader in Lee Lambert. Myself and all the other trustees have been directing our president to wean himself of his administrative duties over the last few years. We want the vice presidents to administer. We want the president to lead. He's responsible to reach out and develop relationships, grow the school, and build our future. We do not expect him to be able to do this from behind a desk in a nice, comfy office. We expect him to put his considerable energies and abilities to work out in the field. And I'm really happy to report that he has exceeded all of my expectations to date. So, Bill Gates has given us a glimpse of the future of education. He said something to the effect that, as a society, we'll be able to provide a quality education for $99 per month through technology. Well, the technology exists today. Somebody, somewhere has to start. And they will. And if it is not us, we'll probably be left behind. And it's way too important not to try. It's vital that we try. So I say, just like the old Nike taglines, let's just do it. Let's do it. Lee Lambert has a vision of a school within a school, a virtual school. It means change is afoot. I urge you all to embrace it. It means we have the school that you all know, and we build another school without a campus, without geography or time. It exists wherever and whenever the student decides to access it. And the student accesses it for, well, it's not free, but it's virtually free. I have little doubt that this is the future of education. There is risk. There are always risks. There will be missteps. Expect temporary setbacks. And it will not look like the past or the present. It will be better, much better. Thank you.